We've received a few messages, particularly in recent times, about what's happening with our project Renault. Now, it wasn't really bought as a project car, it's really just the runaround car for work purposes. It's not a daily driver. I've had it around 18 months now and done around 10,000 kilometres. We've got a couple of other cars that alternate. They all get used for different purposes. It's good on fuel, it drives well, it goes well. What have I done? Well, Auto Paris and Box Hill have always serviced the car, so I thought I'd take it back to them when it was sort of due for a service around 155,000 kilometres, I think it was. And they informed me that it was really due for a cam belt swap. And according to the service records, it had only done 51,000 kilometres, so I was a bit like, does it really need one? But apparently on these cars, you're supposed to replace them every 4 years. It had been 5 years. And given that I know the car has done some track work previously, I thought it's a good idea, just peace of mind, change it. So that was about $1,700 along with a major service. You know, they changed all the fluids, whatnot. Car drives fine. A few months later, I was at a dyno day and I thought, yeah, why not? I'll throw it on just to see where it's at. Now, I was expecting it to make about 130 kilowatts at the wheels. It made that and a little bit more. It has got some sort of internet tune on it, which a few of you readers have said it's a fairly good one. I think it's RS Tuner from memory. Now, the car drives fine. I have no intention of really changing the tune-up in it. I don't see the point. And also, I don't know a whole lot about them. Like, they don't seem to be the easiest cars to modify compared to some Japanese cars. I don't think I can even adjust the tune. It's locked from memory. I was interested to see how fast it would go in the quarter mile, but it wasn't really a priority. But one day, recently, I was up at Heathcote Park Raceway with Broomy shooting an episode of Project Redline, and it was only about 24 degrees. The previous few meetings, I thought I might give it a run, but being over 30 degrees, I thought, no, I'll wait for it to be a little bit cooler, so it wasn't too bad. So I did a couple of runs while I was working in between filming, that sort of thing. Now, when you race, you've got to check a few things, obviously, before you go. I didn't check anything. And I didn't even change the tyre pressures, a bit silly. Later in the day I changed it right as they were closing, so I had one run. A bit silly, but I'll know for next time. I know the car has a few more tenths in it, so I will give it another run. So the goal here today is to run a... you see if it runs 100 miles an hour? Yeah, we've probably got a 100 mile an hour headwind. Yeah, so that's not helping.
Sounds like the excuses have already started.
I was going to say, excuses are already happening here. And I'll probably run a 14 anything. What are they supposed to run stock? Have you looked it up? I think probably a mid 14, something around there. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just going to leave traction control on first run and see what it does. It might be a bit too aggressive so that I can turn it off. But I think if I turn it off, it just lights them up, doesn't it? It does.
Funny sounding rotary.
Yeah, these are, for some reason, Renault didn't put an LSD in them. Why the hell would you not put an LSD in a front-wheel drive car that, I don't know, has about 250 horsepower? So as soon as one wheel spins, it's all over. Yeah. I think the Cup version has an LSD, but it's a good way to sell special... Look at Bremy, he's just pulling out the...
Is there an engine in this or just a hamster on a wheel? I can't see anything. Listening for him on the wheel.
Just a plastic cover. What? You know, I've had this car 1 year. I checked the oil once. Well, stock cars, that's all you do to them. No, it doesn't use a drop of oil. So I've had a few people asking me what's happening with the Renault. I thought I'd just give it a bit of a run, performance-wise. It's not that quick. I've never really even launched this thing, to be honest. So hopefully it doesn't wheel spin. I'm just going to leave the traction control on, and I was just curious to see whether the car would run 100 mile an hour, because it sort of feels like it would on the road, but the only way to find out is to take it to the track. Let's try that again. quicker, but maybe a low 15, high 14 maybe. So apparently that was a 1471 at 97 mile an hour, and I felt a bit better. There's definitely a bit more grip in the left lane. I should have been in there all day, but I don't think it'll run much quicker than that today, so I'm happy with that. I think it's time to go home. The first run I ran a 15.4 and I shifted from 3rd to 6th. I don't know how I screwed that up, but the traction control will flicker obviously when it's doing something. It was just on up until I shifted 3rd gear. The issue is, I mean, you can turn. I didn't even turn it off all day. I didn't think I'd be able to gain anything from turning it off.
Just then you thought you'd just actually drive it off the line without being so aggressive, and you instantly went at 15, I think 1.1 or something.
Yeah, and then I ran a 15. Came straight back around, ran a 15.03, and I thought, oh, you know, I wonder if I can get a 14. It should run a 14. Geez. And me, idiot, the whole day I didn't even think about checking the tyre pressures. I don't know what I was thinking. So then I got a tyre pressure gauge on 33 pounds, and I dropped them to about 26 and a half. Basically, first run, I went a 1471. Dickhead. To be honest, the car's probably got a 14.5 in it, but it won't go heaps faster. It ran 90, pretty consistent 96, 97 mile an hour.
Yeah, all day, yeah.
So, and it won't really go any quicker than that. I don't really see the point in spending a whole lot of money on this car. It was cheap, it's been reliable so far, touch wood. I think it may need an engine mount. It's got a little bit of a knock after I gave it a run, but I don't think it's too bad, but I believe it's a bit of a common problem on Meganes. I would like to replace the front bar. The rubber's missing. I still haven't done that. And maybe a few little small things. Let us know what we could do to it. I'm not sure, but in terms of spending a great deal of money, I just don't think it's worth it in this car. I might do a track day. I still have not done a track day in this car, and to be honest, if you can leave your car standard and do a track day, it's going to be a lot more reliable than changing everything.